Thanks for joining us for the Executive Series today. I'm talking to Rob Phillips, who is the Executive Chairman of Uscom. Rob, great to talk to you again.
Hi Tom, good to be back.
Now, just to recap, for people who haven't tuned into our previous interviews, you're all about device technology, but particularly where it relates to the heart.
Yeah, exactly, Tom. We're a cardiovascular pulmonary medical device company. We're an Australian company who's acquired internationally. And we're experts in circulation, and circulation is critical, obviously, for all of us. At any point where that's broken, you've got 2 minutes, and that's why I think optimising measurement, diagnosis, management, and it affects everybody. You know, I think something 70% to 80% of everybody will die from cardiovascular pulmonary failure.
Which is a staggering statistic, but probably one of the distinguishing features of your technology is that it's non-invasive.
Absolutely. My sort of, I founded the company on translational research from the University of Queensland, and it seemed to me very early on that the concept of invasive technologies could be improved. If you can replace that with more accurate, non-invasive technologies that improve cost effectiveness, you will buy a place into health going forward, and that's exactly what our philosophy is.
Okay, so what would be a clinical example of how the technology is being used and what a difference it makes?
It's trite to say we save lives, but we do save lives. We're, as a paediatric device, we function in neonates, paediatrics, adults and elderly. So it's continuous. But in paediatrics, that's a very powerful place to be. We're in most of the major...
poised.
Absolutely, and particularly in septic shock. We know now that sepsis is a critical emergency, and it's one of the biggest killers, and probably of single causes, it will be one of the greatest impacts on public health in the next 10 or 20 years. And we are saving kids' lives with septic shock, and adults as well. But, you know, we're at the Great Ormond Street Hospital, LA Children's, Pittsburgh Children's, the major teaching hospitals worldwide, and we've just been invited to go up to China to present at one of their global initiatives up there on paediatric sepsis shock, because we save lives. And that's a really exciting thing. So at the foundation of any commercial operation, you've got to have utility. And that's how you become important. It's not a business proposition, it's a medical proposition that becomes a commercial proposition.
Okay, so you've just reported first half results. Revenue was up quite smartly. Is that a reflection of your expansion into different geographical jurisdictions?
Look, I think we've taken a very strategic point of view. We sort of had a shift in the company perhaps 5 years ago, and we took a very strategic path forward, and we've taken investors' capital, we've acquired technologies at a very favourable rate, we've developed those technologies, we've become experts in internal R&D to improve those, and we have also developed distribution pathways. So we've sort of really evolving quite rapidly, and the strategy was that if we bring the companies in, the devices in, we acquire the companies, then we will lead a path to revenue. It also diversifies risk, and that is if you've got a single device or a multiple device company. We're at the stage where our first device, and all of our results now are off the first device, and we've got, I think, our half one results were up 29%, but for the last 3 years, an average CAGR of 70%. And that's similar for our annual growth rates for the last 4 years. So we've got 4 years of growth, and we're into our 5th year now, and we have positioned ourselves where the costs of acquisition, product development are being met. We are approaching cash flow positivity, profitability, and our costs have been met. We've now got 3 suites of products that are coming to market, and they will generate revenue very rapidly and profitability because they're high margin medical device products. And so it's really been a good time for us, and it's very comforting to see these results just stepping up as we'd anticipated and as our strategy supports.
Okay, so it sounds like you're approaching a tipping point. What are going to be the most important features of the next 8 to 12 months?
Look, we're incredibly focused on our China strategy. we're focused on our European strategy, and we are focused on our US strategy. So we've transitioned from research and development and product approvals, which are proceeding at the moment, and we are now moving into the sales, marketing, distribution area. And that's really exciting for us because that's where revenue volumes come from, and that's where we hope to achieve the transitional financial and commercial aspects of the business. But you work really hard to put all those things in place, and they are now poised to come through, and it's a matter of the degree of success that we have rather than tinkering at the sides to try and optimise that.
Rob, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Tom. Much appreciated.
And thanks for joining us for the Executive Series.